Good morning from Snake Mountain Boat Works on Thursday, April 20, 2017. The 17-foot 1959 Chris-Craft Deluxe Sportsman is ready for bleach. John has, well, I'll just hand it to John. Tell us all you did, John.
Okay, after I put the Dutchmans in it and I sanded in the sides so that they were nice and contoured, actually after the Dutchmans went in, I had found that the side planking was all cupped. And on all the seams it was in quite a bit, and on the centers of the boards it was cupped out. And it wasn't necessarily because the boards are too moist and expanded too much, except it's been so long in the open without a finish on it that the boards have actually expanded, and then they had stayed that way. So I had changed a lot of the fasteners to tighten the boards up, but then I had found that each board had a hump in it. Well, I sanded it with 40 grit, got the contour so that it's nice and even on all the planking.
You used a long board and went both cross grain and with the grain,
Yes,
right?
I did. I went cross grain to get the boards back to having a nice contour, because if you go straight grain with it, you still end up with that same hump, because you're sanding like this and you're sanding the seams and the centers of the boards, and it's going like this. So when you're cross grain, it takes that hump out and brings it down to the lower spots and makes it nice and contoured. As I got to the front of the boat, we had experienced that the stem had a little bit of rot in it, and we started out by cutting it out for a Dutchman down low. This piece is pretty terrible, but also after I pulled the bow eye out of it, I noticed that this piece was destroyed. So I put a Dutchman in from the top of the boat down to this seam and this planking down here, and we 5200'd it in, and then sanded it all in, contoured it in real nice, and now we have a new stem piece.
Well, that's great. So, RJ and I will begin bleaching. We'll keep the boat wet all day till about 5, 6 tonight. We'll stop applying bleach. We do not follow the directions that ask you to apply once and walk away and call it done, because it's never done. Keep it wet, and by tomorrow we'll have a bleached topsides and transom, and it will be time in probably Monday, Tuesday next week to stain her, and then we'll give that stain 3 or 4 days to cure and seal it with clear penetrating epoxy sealer, and it'll be time for varnish. Isn't that wonderful? Hello again on Friday, April 21. We thought, in response to several spontaneous requests that I've received unrelated to the first part of this video, that I would amend an additional installment that shows the boat having been bleached. So here she is. You can back the video up and compare what you see now to what you saw yesterday. The couple of Dutchmen that appear to be slightly darker than the surrounding wood will actually blend in nicely once we have stained her. The next step involves a very light sanding, which we will do next Monday, followed by staining the hull entirely. And for that we will be using the Don Dannenberg formula, Interlux Interstain Filler Stain in brown mahogany and red mahogany at the ratio of 2 browns to a red. So by the middle of next week, she'll be looking quite different than she does now. But this short addendum We'll give you a comparative before and after image of the 1959 17-foot Chris-Craft Sportsman. What you didn't see yesterday was her transom. With the loss of clean strip bleach, which was incomparable in terms of its ability to bleach wood, we've turned to Daly's Wood Bleach, and it's D-A-L-Y-S on Google, and you'll get to them. Their bleach is the best we've found post clean strip. So that's the story on Friday, April 21st. Thank you so much. Goodbye for now from Snake Mountain Boat Works.